Alright everybody, welcome back to, I guess episode 2 of the Chevelle project. And right now I'm on my way to my grandparents' house. And the reason for that is we actually moved the Chevelle to my grandpa's shop. There's a lot of room, a lot of nice lighting, the floor is smooth, and for what we're planning on doing with the car, we're going to need a smooth floor. We were going to go racing today, but as you can see, it's raining outside. Show you guys inside. So we got a workbench over there. We got this back room here, which we'll probably use for storage for like fenders and hood and deck lid while we're working on this. You can see the air hose reel right there. The air compressor is actually back behind that door there, which is awesome. You can close the overhead door right here. So if it starts getting colder out later in the year, turn on the heater. You're enough to heat the whole back part of the shop there. And then just out the door over here, we got the basement to the house. So I got free room and board in there, but there is a kitchen in the basement, so if we need late night snacks, we can go and cook something up. So yeah, I'm fired up to be working in my grandpa's shop. This is awesome that he's letting me do this. Huge thank you to my grandpa and my grandma for let me work here. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for watching this car come to life here. So the first thing I'm going to be working on this evening is trying to get the tires mounted on the rims and put some air in them, so we have tires that are the appropriate size so that we know how much we got to cut out of the back. Because if you guys haven't figured out by now, I'm just back halfing the car right away. So I got a back half kit ordered. I don't know exactly when that'll be here. Hopefully it'll be here within the next month. The second plan of action for this weekend is going to be to get the body ready to take off of the car. So another benefit of working on the car over here is that my uncle's shop is just down the road and he has a forklift. So it's going to be pretty easy to get the body off and on a couple times that we're going to need to take the body off and on, fitting a roll cage and doing a back half kit and getting wheel tubs in and everything. Pretty much everything from here back is going to get cut out of the floor, and then this floor pan still needs to get welded in yet. You can see where the old floor was cut out, but the new floor hasn't been welded in yet. And then we will have to replace the toe boards. I've got a driver's side toe board. It's over there behind that seat. Probably have to get a passenger side toe board too and replace that, but that is pretty minor. I think what I'm going to do right now is see if I can figure out how to get the hood off and the deck lid off by myself. Alright, so we're laying underneath the car here, trying to get the bumper off. There's these obviously right here. The one in the corner, and then there's that guy right there. But I think instead of taking off 4 bolts per side, looks like there's that one right there, and then that one right there. So just those two. And then I think, well, those two on this side and then the same two on the other side. And I think the whole bumper and all the brackets that the bumper is mounted to should just come off. I don't know. Well, those 4 bolts did indeed remove the whole bumper. Man, that thing is heavy, but it's definitely worth it. Might be able to lose a little bit of weight. I don't know if maybe this outrigger here that goes to the side can get left behind when it goes back together. I don't know. So I think the next thing we got to take out is that lip piece right there, and then probably this piece, and then the core support will come out. Then we should be good to take the hood off. So now that I got those body mount bushings out of here, I was in there like that, and that was keeping the bottom of this core support up on top of here. Now that that drops down, should give us enough clearance underneath this lip, which is, you know, bent forward a little bit, capturing the whole core support. Now we should be able to pull the whole thing off. There we go. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, honestly. We managed to get all of the body panels off that we need to take off. Basically just some of the interior left to do. The steering column and the dash. That's my plan for the rest of the day. I'm gonna take the steering box out, take the steering shaft, steering column out, maybe try and take that brake master cylinder out and get the brake pedal out and gas pedal out as well. I don't even know if there's a gas pedal in it. Yeah, there's just a brake pedal in there to worry about. We're gonna get all that taken out and then start working on finding all the body mounts and loosening all that up. Alright, so we pretty much got everything taken out of the interior of the car. We're just about ready to take the body off. I don't think that's going to happen today because that might require pushing stuff outside and it's raining and I'm running out of time for this weekend. For you guys, it'll be in about 2 seconds.
2 seconds later.
Alright everybody, it has been quite a while since we've been working on the Chevelle now. Probably about a couple months. But as you can see behind me, we finally got back half parts for the car. So now we can really start moving along with this project. The big tires back there, I managed to get those mounted. So the goal for the rest of today is going to be to pick the body up off the frame and then shove the big tires underneath the body so we can measure for rear end width. So like you guys saw in the background there, this is the back half kit that I got for the car. We got 2x3 back frame rails with aluminum floors and aluminum wheel tubs that I got in here. That's some extra trunk floor and wheel tub extensions. The wheel tubs are in here, so we gotta assemble them, but that shouldn't be too bad. It's all aluminum, so it should be fairly easy to work with as long as we don't have to weld anything. And the rest of the suspension and four-link stuff is all in these boxes right here. The other thing we're gonna have to decide what we want to do is I have this 2x3 cross member right here with a 3-inch drop, and the 2x3 cross member in there has an 1.5 inch drop. So we'll have to see what exactly I want to do there and how much ground clearance I want to have. I do want to set the car up. Well, obviously the car is going to be set up to run on a big tire, but I want the option to put it on a 28-10-5 if for whatever reason I'm going to do some kind of small tire racing class. So I want to make sure that I have that option to go with both those tire sizes and still have proper ground clearance and drive shaft clearance. Alright, so we got all the body mount bolts out of the car and everything is pretty much ready to lift this up. I'm just kind of waiting for Uncle Jim to get back with an extra jack and some more jack stands. We got 2 back there, and then we're kind of just going to pick it up from the front and the back. We'll have 2 pump jacks, 2 sets of jack stands, and put some 2x4s underneath there. And then I think eventually we're going to get some car dollies or some kind of dollies, so we can kind of make a little body cart and roll this around. And then we're just going to roll the frame out the door and then bring the frame in on this side of the shop over here. We're kind of going to get a 2x4, well that's a 2x6, and put it in the transmission tunnel and kind of jack the front of the car up, and then slide a bigger 2x4 all the way underneath and put 2 jack stands out here. Hopefully we'll be able to get wide enough to clear the wheels, and then just roll the whole thing out. I might need to get a little bit bigger of a 2x4 here because the firewall transmission tunnel area right in there is pretty rotted out, and I just tried jacking it up with that right now and it was starting to push through the floor. Might have to come up with a different plan for that. Yeah, we should be getting the body off here pretty quick, and then I'll start cutting the trunk floor out. front tires on it now before it goes over the bump. Alright, so the trunk floor is now completely out of it. That was way huger of a pain in the butt than I thought it was going to be. The next thing that I have to do is cut out the tubs there and then try and fit the slicks underneath there, but I burned up all of the cutting wheels that actually fit on these die grinders. That was the last one. So I think that's going to be it for me for tonight, and maybe tomorrow if I have time I'll have to run to the store and get some more cut off discs for the finish the tubs, but if not, that'll be a project for another weekend. Alright everybody, so we finally got the entire trunk floor cut out of the Chevelle. We got the trunk out last weekend, and now we're back this weekend. Had to just finish up a little bit getting the wheel wells out. So now, well, Peter's here now, so our plan now is to get the we're going to set the car down at a more desirable ride height, or a more realistic ride height, and then put the slicks underneath it and see where we like the ride height at, and then measure between the sidewalls on the slicks to figure out what our frame rail width needs to be and what our rear end housing width needs to be. We're going to do that and then show you guys what she all looks like when we're done. Alright, so we're moving right along with the Chevelle here. It's the next morning. We did a lot of thinking and figuring last night and wound up exhausting our brains, so we went to bed. But this is basically what we have right now. You can see we got the tire tucked up underneath there. Right now we got it set at about 28 inches from sidewall to sidewall, which is going to put the frame rail inside to inside on the frame rails 24 inches, because we've got 2 inches and 2 inches of frame rail. And you don't really need a lot of clearance. We probably want an inch of clearance here. Maybe we'll have to set the frame rails in a little bit narrower, but you don't need a whole lot of clearance, because as you're going down the track, the tires actually get narrower. The only reason you'd need sidewall clearance is if you're taking a lot of tight turns and the sidewall starts to fold over on the rim, but we're not planning on taking any tight turns with this car. If we're taking tight turns with the car, we've got bigger problems, basically. Alright folks, so we think we finally got the car set up kind of where we want it. We got the ride height set pretty good. We got the frame rail width figured out. I'll just flip the camera around here and show you guys what we're thinking. So there's what we got for the ride height. It's sitting at about 9 inches to the rocker panel. The tire looks good, and that was kind of just a sort of a visual thing and sort of what we had enough clearance for on the top of the tire up here. We should have plenty of clearance to get a wheel tub in there, and general rule of thumb is you want 3 inches of clearance for tire growth on the top. We got the tires spaced out. I think we got about 30 inches inside to inside here. So we're gonna end up putting the frame rails 26 inches inside to inside. That gives 2 inches of clearance on each side, and we should be good with that. So that's gonna do it for today's video, guys. We got the whole car tore down. We got stuff figured out for rear end width and frame rail width. And as you can see behind me, we're already starting to level the frame out and do work on that. Be sure to subscribe and keep watching the channel as we continue to work on this project. We'll have a lot of content coming here real soon for you guys. See you next time.